And giving a damn is a prerequisite. That's it. If you are living by the golden rule and you're saying, yes, I want to treat others in a manner that I want to be treated, that is logical, that is sensible. It doesn't take a lot of intellect. It's simple. I can do that. I can think ahead of time. Am I talking to this person how I would like to be talked to? Am I behaving toward this person the way I want to be behaved to? Am I thinking about this person in the proper way that is sanctified by God? Okay, that's it. By my owner, my creator, my inventor, my designer. That's it. Because I know my parents didn't do it. They just did what instinct dictated. I know I didn't do it. I don't know how to make a human being except how instinct dictates when I made my kids. That's it. So it's all logical and reasonable. You can just take everything by extension to the nth degree. So ultimately, everything is ideal. You've got to work that direction. And everything is logical in that sense. If you're not compromising, you're saying, yes, let's take this thing to its natural conclusion. And when you do, you realize it really ends up being a perfect place, an ideal place, not for some of the people, but for all of the people in that place. It has to be, or else you're not going to be okay there. There's a lot of people that would be miserable in heaven, and that's who you don't want to be. You understand? This is the whole idea, getting too comfortable with the way things are in this world. It's going to be very traumatic. Like Jesus said, he says, when I return, it's, it's going to feel like a thief in the middle of the night to a lot of people. It's going to catch them off guard, by surprise. You understand? Because they think it's hooey. It's all hogwash, this idea that Jesus Christ is going to return again with this multitude of holy angels called the harvesters of the souls of men. That's just so far out, right? Man, you are nuts. And it sounds nuts. I admit, it sounds nuts. But if I am to have faith, if I'm to do what he's called on me to do and have that mustard seed of faith, okay, just a little bit, an ounce of faith, right, then I can trust in what he said and that he's going to be faithful, do what he did, what he promised he will do. And the question is, will he find faith on the earth? And I'm saying he should. He should find it in me, he should find it in you, because I don't think that's any more mind-blowing than anything else in the universe. I think it's a freaking mind-blowing existence. Human existence is far out, man. Our potential is unlimited. Look what we have done. Think of where we can go. There's no limits to what we can understand, comprehend, and imagine. We're made like God. We can do whatever we want to do. It's fantastical to the nth degree. And we're a part of this thing. I mean, just to be so grateful for existence, to have a chance to really understand the big picture that God makes sense. He's logical. He's all good too, all loving, all perfect. That's it. And we can rely and count on him. And we've got to reject the way of this world. We've got to reject the direction we've been going for a long, long time. A long, long time. We've got to reject it. You can't be one of the well-heeled, overly comfortable Laodiceans that just gets cocky and comfortable. No, you can't do it. Your conscience won't let you do it, and it shouldn't. It's for your own good. Again, kind of like what Victor Hugo taught. Prosperity makes monsters, adversity makes men. Like even the Rolling Stones. In the lyric of that song, you can't always get what you want. I went down to the demonstration. Why? To get my fair share of abuse. We have like an instinct to want to get our fair share of abuse. That's it. And if we're not getting it, we're really not content. We can kid ourselves. We can delude ourselves by divorcing ourselves from the plight of the common man, the plebs, and say, hey, you know what? I've figured out a way out of this thing. And if you can't figure out a way out, that's your problem. Is that the right attitude? Is that the right spirit? No, it's not. And so the risks are huge. That's why I say all of us have to be like a watchman on the wall. We don't want other people's blood, as a metaphor, as an allegory, on our hands, okay? If we had a chance to warn people that, look, you're going to go to a bad place. You've got to be zealous. You've got to want good to be the rule of the day. Not for some people selectively, as a privilege, exclusive privilege. No, across the board, everybody in your realm, that means planet Earth, all of the nations must be healed. We all must live in full freedom. Full prosperity is part of that, okay? That's just the way it is, and that's what we need to be preparing our hearts and minds for, that inevitable reality that is coming. It's on its way. It's very close to what a lot of people believe. A lot of Bible prophets out there that believe, look, we're there. And there are Bible prophets alive today. In the book of Acts, it's a living book. There's always room for addendum if it's for the truth, the whole nothing but the truth. But you got to remember the warnings in the very last chapter of the Bible, in the book of Revelations, chapter 22, the warnings to those that would dare change the wording, that would add stuff that's not there. If your heart isn't right, okay, if you're not connected properly and you're predicting stuff, that's why I don't prophesize. I just go by with the prophecy that's already written there. Try to read the signs of the times, because Jesus said, look, you can do this too. Anyone can be called the very elect. It's just choosing to be tuned in to the frequencies and feeling that, are they at the end of the age here? Is it getting close? And if so, what do I need to be prepared for? This flood, this fire, this refining fire of the Holy Spirit that's going to wash through humanity. And the only survivors left are those that were pure in heart, that were found deserving, found worthy to inherit this new age on a renewed earth, where all those miserable stinking insects I talked about earlier, the whole predator and prey paradigm, okay, that's said to be gone. The sun itself will never be too bright. It'll never be too hot, never be too cold. Gravity won't be deadly. We won't get diseases. Death will be swallowed up in victory. That's what you're going to inherit. That's the reward of the righteous. That's for everybody. Everybody that's left standing is going to have that same reality, and we're going to work together and live together as one family of loving people, free children playing, frolicking on God's green earth. Do you understand? Forevermore. Our reality is going to be dramatically different. We're going to be blissed out and filled with euphoria 24/7, just communing and loving each other, and that's it, man. And just saying, you know what, God's got all the evildoers safely ensconced where they need to be for their own good, so that they can learn to love of their own free will and accord. He knows what he's doing. Nobody could mete out justice any better than the creator of those evildoers. Okay, he didn't make them evil, but he gave them life. He gave them existence. And when they're in their right mind, and he's going to work on them, he's going to plant some new dough, some very powerful dough down there in hell, and he's going to start doing his thing. Okay, he's going to start rendering justice even in hell. That's what's going to happen, I believe. So even the most condemned demons out there, and remember that even the demons believe in God and they tremble. They know that they are created beings. This whole thing is about a rebellious spirit, and that's in all of us. We all have that rebellion. I see it in myself. This whole need to escape. Well, God, you're such an a-hole. I don't know how I survived this day, and I'm going to go out and go drink in a bar or take this drug or engage in this activity or this vice or whatever, okay? We all do that. We cop a rebellious spirit. And so this is what happened originally, is that satanic spirit, along with a lot of satanic angels that were said, yeah, we want to put our throne above yours. I'm trusting in Lucifer, who turned into Satan, morphed into the devil, and this is where we are today. So there's all these spirits wandering the earth and trying to embody people, and they'll embody anybody that allows them to. And we all get our fair share, but we've got to confess it. If we admit when we fall into the demons, we've just got to confess it over and over again. Doesn't matter how many times. You know that you want to be free. So God knows you want to be free. He knows us better than we know us, better than we could ever know us or anybody else could ever know us. And he loves us more than anybody else could. And this is very important stuff for us to remember and to convey to other people, that we need to be ready for some big, big, big changes on earth. And we have a duty, a responsibility, an obligation. And we call ourselves friends of God to go out there and bring that good news to people and help win them out of the darkness and into the light. The flames are licking at these people as they're on their way to hell. You see it, but they might not see it. They might not see it. They can't think about their fellow human being in the way they have been, or speak to them the way they have been, or behave to their fellow human being the way they have been. And they need to be warned, but it's a serious matter. They don't need to be mocked and taunted and ridiculed and condemned and excoriated in an equally vitriolic fashion. No. They need the tact, the divine tact that only the Holy Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit of truth, can yield us, okay, to be effective, To really actually succeed, it takes the power